Okay, it's 12:30 and we're going to get started. First of all, thank you everyone for signing up for this informational webinar and joining me this afternoon. It's snowing here in New York and it's looking pretty nice out there, depending on what your perspective is. But anyway, we have a short time. It'll be a half hour, but I'd like to, I'll share a few minutes about the Future Now Media and Entertainment Conference, and then I would love to take your questions. So I would prefer that we spend more time on your questions than me just kind of droning on about in this presentation. So first of all, the Future Now Media and Entertainment Conference is a project of the Future Now Media Foundation. And the Future Now Media Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We established this last year after our second conference. This year will be the third year of our conference. And the 501c3, we are all about building future leaders now in the media and entertainment industry. And we believe a future now is a future one. And so we are a leadership incubator, and our work is to engage, mentor, train, and connect college and graduate students, as well as recent graduates, to become the best and brightest future leaders in every sector of the industry. That includes in business, content, and in technology. And so we believe in investing in future leaders today, and we believe that that's going to ensure a better future for everyone. And in our DNA and in everything that we do, we are all about diversity and inclusion. We're about providing equal opportunity, exposure, and access to advancement for the next gen and future generations of business leaders, technologists, content creators, and journalists. So what is the Future Now Media and Entertainment Conference? This conference is really designed to bring together students who are passionate about pursuing careers in the media and entertainment industry with the media industry. And so this is to create access, connection points, and opportunity to learn firsthand about the industry from our top leaders and executives and professionals today, provide opportunities for mentorship, which we hope will lead to internships, jobs, and advancement throughout your career. So who is this for? This is for currently enrolled college and graduate students, and also recent graduates. We'll take, 1 or 2 years out. We may make an exception if you're class of 2016, but, you can reach out to us and let us know who you are, and we'll make that a consideration. You can be coming from any major. You do not need to be a communications major. You could be a political science or English or history. It could be anything. But you also have to demonstrate that you have a proven interest in media and entertainment industry through, your side gigs, your internships, the jobs that you've held, any extracurricular activities. If you do YouTube videos or write or do your own blog or maintain a website, those all count to proving your interest in the industry. So who comes to this conference? These are media executives, leaders, and professionals from every area of the business in broadcast, cable, and digital. They come from programming backgrounds, production, marketing, PR, sales, every kind of part of the ecosystem. Who else will be there? We will have recruiters there. We've had recruiters join us in the past, but this year we are actually opening up opportunities for recruiters to actually come and do informational sessions at their recruiting tables. So this is a great new addition to the conference this year. And some of these recruiters are going to want to hire on the spot interns and for entry-level positions. And then, of course, we want students from all over the country like you joining us at this conference. Some of the specifics for this year, the dates, May 29th to the 31st. It will be here in New York City at the Schimmel Center, which is Pace University's auditorium. I don't know if you are familiar with inside the actor studio, but that is where inside the actor studio is also taped. Beautiful, beautiful place. They've also been renovating their other spaces. So we're going to be, I think, the first outside company coming in or organization coming in to do an event there. So very excited about that. Day one, this conference has been for the last 2 years done over 2 days. And this year we're adding a third day in the front end of it with a welcome and networking reception. And that's going to be in the evening. It'll be a couple of hours where everyone from the conference will be invited to connect and just start warming up those relationships and getting to know each other before we go into that second full conference day. And so this full conference day, registration will begin at 8:15. The conference will start promptly at 9 o'clock, and we end at 5 o'clock. And during that 9 to 5 p.m. period, we will be doing keynotes and panels. We'll have a luncheon from 12 to about 12:50, and then we'll go into workshops and then mentoring sessions and some final plenary sessions. We have ended our events with a fireside C-suite chat, and that is a panel of 3 or 4 of the highest level executives at different companies. So you might see, for example, the chief revenue officer of AccuWeather, the chief operating officer of the New York City Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, the chief creative officer of In Demand, and et cetera. And again, this whole conference is really designed for connection. So you're not just seeing these folks on a platform and you're never going to talk to them. You are not only going to hear from them from the platform, but you will also have time for real networking and connection with them through the lunch time, as well as through these mentoring sessions and at the workshops. And then day 3, we have media tours at different companies. And so this is a sign-up process, and it's a first-come, first-serve. The first 40 students who apply to the conference and are accepted will get the first dibs on the sign-up for these media tours. And last year, we had 14 different companies who opened their doors, and they included HBO, A&E television networks, Vice, Discovery, ABC, CBS, ESPN, and others. And so, again, a tremendous opportunity to not only learn from the executives that you'll meet on day 2, but actually get to see what these office environments are like, what these studio environments are like. One of the media tours we've done has also been at the Good Morning America studios. And last year we had our students, I think we had 15 students who went on that tour, and they had a chance to see the see the live broadcast of Good Morning America, and then they met with the anchors and the talent. So Robin Roberts, who you might know, she spent some time with the Future Now students in the studio, talking with them after the broadcast was over. Huge opportunity there. And so that's the 3-day conference. Our applications are open online right now at futurenowconference.com, and you might want to just check it out now if you haven't already. Our deadline is March 1st, and that's coming up in 10 days or less than 10 days. So be sure to get those applications in, especially if you want to be one of the top 40. So we still have some spots open to be in the top 40 to get those first dibs on the media tours. And even if you're not in that top 40, you will still have an opportunity to sign up for those media tours. Last year, everyone had at least one, and many of the students had 2. So again, great opportunity. Quickly, what are the application requirements? You will see this online at the Future Now conference site, but just to quickly go through it, They include a resume, an essay, one page, one full page about why you want to pursue a career in the media and entertainment industry, a recommendation letter, as well as a work sample. I'm going to tell you some of the application do's and don'ts. The two most important parts of your application that you should really spend quality time on is the essay and the recommendation letter. These are absolutely the two most important parts of your application, because the essay goes to the why you want to be a part of this conference, as well as why you want to be in the business. And then the recommendation letter is also really important, because that goes to your character, your work ethic, and somebody vouching for you. So please make sure that your essay especially and your recommendation letter are top-notch. And then make sure also put your name and address on every document. I've had students who, they'll submit their applications, but they're not even putting their name and address on their essays, or so that's a real, you have to do that, because you don't know if your stuff will get lost. We're very organized, so we won't lose it, but don't open yourself up for your application getting lost, or your essay being, missing from your application because you didn't put your name on it, okay? Make sure your recommendation letter is also on letterhead and signed by the person. We want to be able to contact that person if we want to follow up on your application. So having somebody send a recommendation letter without identifying who they are and having a signature and an institution or an employer or, somebody, we want to know that these people are legitimate, right? So make sure that that recommendation letter is on a letterhead and signed by that person. Of course, check your spelling and grammar for every element that you submit to in your application. And then lastly, know that your applications of accepted candidates will be included in an e-portfolio and given to all of the sponsors, speakers, and mentors. Now, this is huge, because this is also one of the big values that Future Now provides to students, because, and I'm sure you've all kind of applied for jobs and internships, and you feel like it's kind of going into a black hole. Well, this conference and Future Now, we are about helping you make those connections so you don't become another resume in a black hole. So make sure you spend quality time on your applications, and then, once you are accepted, and hopefully you will all be accepted to attend this conference, really make those connections while you're here, because that, it's not enough to just show up. This is the opportunity to really connect. Okay, so I am ready to take questions, and you can unmute yourself and speak, or if you would prefer to chat, do the chat text, that would be fine too. I have a question from Lauren. Hi, Lauren. The question is this conference suitable for an MBA candidate? Yes, absolutely. So we're looking for MBAs, JDs, master's, graduate. You can come from any, you could be studying anything. You just need to have a track record of wanting to be in the business. One of the things that is also new this year is that we do have a conference fee. And that conference fee is $149 for the conference if you are accepted and pay within the first 2 weeks. If you pay after the first 2 weeks, then it will be $199. But I also want to just let you know that you do not need to be afraid of applying if you have any concerns about this fee. Do not be afraid to apply, because we will be providing scholarships and volunteer opportunities for you to wipe out the cost of the conference. Okay, so I see some more questions here. Do you need to have an area of career focus already coming into this opportunity? Not necessarily, no. if you want to elaborate on your question, please do so. But no, you don't need to have a particular area of focus. If you do, fantastic. Like if you already know, I really want to be in marketing or I really want to be in production, fantastic. But it's not a prerequisite. Another question. Aside from the conference, are there any other Future Now conferences? So in terms of the conference itself, we do this once a year. And it has been for the last 3 years, that last week of February after the Memorial Day weekend. I mean, did I say February? I meant to say May. So it's the last week of May, right after the Memorial Day weekend. So we only do this conference once a year, but we do have other programming that we have started to offer this past year. And these are called the Future Now Leadership Talk and Networking Series. And we've been doing that at the Sheen Center every couple of months. And this year we will continue to do that. So in order to be aware of those opportunities, please sign up for the mailing list. You can sign up through the Future Now conference site for to subscribe to the e-newsletter. And then some other things just quickly that we are doing. We will be having other networking events also throughout the year. And we will be announcing a Future Now mentoring program at the conference, and more information for that will be forthcoming, but that will also require an application to be a part of that mentoring program. And then we will have we will be kind of adding to our website resources and creating, launching a podcast, a Future Now Leadership podcast. And so we have a lot of exciting things coming up. So if you're not already on the mailing list, please join the mailing list for more information. Okay, what types of professionals are you looking for in letters of recommendation? They can come from anywhere. So if you have a professor who can write a recommendation letter for you, or if you have an employer who can, employer, your pastor, somebody who knows you really well and can speak to your character. If you've worked with them, if you've volunteered with them, but somebody who can speak to your character, your work ethic, and what you've done with each other. So the nature of your relationship. How many speaker sessions will there be, and is there an agenda? Yes, I have not published that agenda just yet because we're still working on it. But generally speaking, there have been 46 different speakers and mentors. In the morning, we open with a keynote about the state of the industry, and then we go into three panels, or we have gone into 3 panels. One has been on the art of storytelling, the art of distribution, tools of the trade, which is a great panel that kind of tells you about the different organizations and resources that are out there and available to students in order to help kind of build their knowledge base and opportunities for networking. And then we go into a keynote, which is more of an inspirational keynote, and that goes into the luncheon. And then the luncheon is a networking luncheon. And then after that, we go into workshops and breakout sessions. And this year, because we have space at the Schimmel Center and at Pace, we will have several breakout sessions, which will be really interesting. And then from there, we'll go into our mentoring roundtables. And those mentoring roundtables will be, we're adding a little bit more time to those mentoring roundtables. So this year, students will rotate 3 times, 25 minutes with each mentor. And those mentors, again, will be coming from different areas of discipline, et cetera. And we will, as our programming becomes more solidified, that information will be made available on the website. But for now, you can see some of our past speakers from last year's conference. and look at their bios. I know that several of them will be coming back again this year, and then we'll have some new folks also joining us as speakers and mentors. And then in the afternoon last year, after we did the mentoring sessions, we had two panels. One was what I learned in my first 5 years, and that was a panel of millennials who are in their first 5 years of their career, and that was moderated by Val Nicholas, who was the vice president of NBC News. Very, very good panel. And then followed by our final panel, which was the Fireside C-Suite Chat, which I talked to you about before. And then, it's just final announcements and getting everybody squared away for the next day's media tours. Okay, another question is, are you aware of past participant job opportunities that have been birthed from this conference? I'm not sure I quite understand the wording of that question. Do you mean have people who have, those who've attended this, attendees landed internships and jobs? I'm assuming that's what you're saying. So the answer is yes. Yes. So this is an opportunity for us to connect you to really connect with folks. So the answer is yes. I can lead you to water, but you still have to drink, right? So the best way to have a successful conference is to do your homework on all of the speakers. Those bios will be made available prior to the conference. So read up on those bios, make sure you identify those speakers and mentors that you really want to connect with, and make a concerted, proactive effort to connect with them at the conference. And be intelligent about your approach. So, be prepared to ask good questions. This is an incredible opportunity. A lot of people do not have this opportunity to be in a room like this. So it's not enough just to be in the room. You have to be prepared to really engage. And that requires some effort on your part prior to the conference. Another question here I just saw from Terrell. Is the conference held in the same city every year? It has been. It has been in New York, which, obviously is I'm a little biased, but I would say New York City is the media capital of the world. But eventually, as we continue to grow, the idea is to go to different cities. So, for example, last year in November, we launched Future Now with a smaller event in Atlanta. And we will continue to do things in Atlanta. But eventually the plan and the vision is for Future Now to be in different cities around the world, and as well as around the country. So I can see something happening, Future Now LA, Future Now Chicago, Future Now Nashville, Future Now Atlanta, Future Now London, Seoul, etc. So yes, but so far it has been in New York City. Okay, I'll just leave you with one last thought. If you feel like you have obstacles, whether they're financial obstacles or distance obstacles, don't let that hinder you, because you have to be in it to win it, right? So apply, and all of those other things will get figured out. So I'm not saying that Future Now is going to give you travel scholarships. We're not at that point yet. But if we get some huge sponsor that suddenly decides they're going to do travel scholarships, obviously we would be thrilled, and we'll let you know about that opportunity. But I am a person of faith, and if you feel called to come into this media and entertainment industry, don't let obstacles stop you. They're there for you to overcome. So be encouraged. I would love to see all of you who have participated in this webinar to receive your applications, and I would love to meet you in person. So with that, I just want to say thank you. If you have further questions that we didn't cover, and you want to contact me, please contact me through the Future Now Conference at gmail.com email address. All right. Thank you all so much and have a great, great day and a great rest of the week.